I'm Jo Sé.
I'm Leeann.
And we are Two Most Wanted.
Oh, hey, gang.
Hi, gay.
Oh, hi. Oh, goodness gracious.
Welcome.
Where to even begin? Last episode, we talked about hormones, mental health. I was playing a very fun game of, is it this or is it perimenopause? And blah, blah, blah.
Super fun topic, by the way.
The journey has been so real. I have, latest results. Now I have to go see, what's it called? An endocrinologist?
Endocrinologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea that perimenopause or menopause symptoms are pretty much the exact same as a thyroid issue. And so now I have to go down that road of testing, and a girl is scared.
It is, in general, just getting tested in that kind of way, it is very nerve-wracking.
Just feeling like something is wrong with you is scary.
And really not having a defined understanding of what that is even scarier.
Well, the waiting game, because it's like trying to find an in-network endocrinologist that is available within the next 3 months is seeming to prove difficult.
Oh my God.
And my fatigue is next
proving to be
level.
difficult.
I'm struggling right now. So I'm just in a
tell
scary
them
space.
How you're struggling. Exactly.
The fatigue is surreal. It's not just, I feel like I need a nap. Yes, that's a given, but it's also I feel narcoleptic, and that's terrifying. I feel like I could just fall asleep at any moment. I'm having minimum 3 cups of coffee to survive the day. And I could also have a cup of coffee and nap right afterwards. It's not even doing the thing. Mm-hmm. It's mentally doing more for me than it is physically. Kind of
almost like a placebo effect.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. And so it's the hot flashes that I even deal with, more extreme anxiety than normal, more extreme ADHD than normal. I had no idea that these could be symptoms of a thyroid issue, not just perimenopause.
Yeah.
So I've reached a point of acceptance, something is wrong. Mm-hmm. And now I'm give me the goddamn pill to fix it, because I can't live like this.
It's one of those things that we've talked about this plenty of times as we get older, looking out for those things that, granted, we don't feel our age.
Yeah.
But there's certain points in our lives that your body will tell you, no, you're this age.
Right. And that's what I've been thinking, it must be perimenopause, and I need to accept the fact that I am this age. Now that possible thyroid issue has entered the chat, I'm this is not age related. You could get that as a child. You could get that at any point in time. And so it's okay, maybe I'm not getting older like I feel, but boo, there's something wrong with me, Yeah. And at this point, I'm just fucking fix it, figure it out and fix it. Whatever fixes it, I'll do it, because I'm tired. I'm so tired. And one of the things you and I have been talking about lately is, which is really, it's a symptom that's hard to tell on me. Mm-hmm. And it's I'm not hearing out of one of these. It's
what, the headset?
Yeah, I'm not hearing out of the left, really. Or maybe it's the right. It's hard to tell.
Interesting.
But you hear me, right?
I hear you clearly.
We're good.
And you hear us in TV land, right?
You hear us. One of the symptoms that's hard to tell with me is libido issue. So perimenopause, you might have less libido.
Interesting.
I don't think it was, when I went down the Google rabbit hole, I don't know if it was mentioned in thyroid issue or not, but, and I don't, because I normally, my whole life have had a high libido. It's hard for me to notice when it's not there, because let's say I am experiencing a low libido, I would barely notice, because it's still probably average. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%.
So we've talked about the fact that I haven't had sex in several months at this point. It's going 7-8 months or something.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I'm chomping at the bit to, which is unusual for me. Mm-hmm. It is unusual, but I'm also growing and maturing and evolving. And
also you have a lot on your plate.
I have a lot on my plate. It hasn't been a priority.
Exactly.
I've removed dating from my plate. So yeah, it is hard to focus on sex when you take dating off of the table entirely.
Yeah. Because that was the gateway into the sex.
Especially dating women. I mostly date women, and I do like to get to know them. It's like It benefits us both. Women we're wired differently, and it's good to get to know them on a more mentally and emotional level before having sex. And so it takes more time. Where,
Exactly, yeah.
a guy's, no offense, I could roll down my phone, hit a name, and be like, "Hey, want to bang tonight?" And they'd be like, "Dope," and I'd be like, "Cool." And
Just described all of the gay apps, by
that
the
would
way.
be it. So it's more I'm not saying women can't do that. The women I tend to attract into my orbit would like a little more than that, as would I.
As would I too.
And so I haven't really been committing to that, therefore not leading to the sex. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
But we talked about last time how I masturbate more than the average person. And lately, that's not the case. So maybe I do have a low libido.
Yeah.
And the stigma that comes with that, especially working in the sex work community.
I can imagine, yeah.
It's like, what? You mean you're not horny all of the time? Like, bitch, I used to be, trust. Like, I don't know what happened. I just had an ex hit me up recently, a male ex, who I definitely was in love with at one point. And he's reached back in my life to let me know how he still feels about me. And once upon a time, this would have been received better. Now I'm kind of like, eh. But I used to be, I hate to admit it, I used to be dickmatized by him. And it's not necessarily his dick game. It was his lengua game that had me dickmatized. Like, yeah.
Well, I just certainly felt something.
Oh, man. His tongue is just, it's made of gold. It's powerful. And so he reached back out trying to reconnect. And I'm like, about it. And usually he could lure me back in with some kind of video, some kind of sexting, some kind of... And he has tried multiple times in the last few weeks. Girl, he failing. And I'm like, is this my libido or is this my growth?
I mean, it's hard to differentiate.
Have
right?
I matured out of this spell, or is my libido just like crashed? Like,
what if it's a combination of both? A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe. Could be.
Right? Like a little bit of growth, but also maybe your libido is just like, all right, I want to take a little back seat for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. And
that's
I
tricky.
do feel some sort of shame in that, working in the industry that I work in.
Well, that is your literal profession.
It is. And I still, I think, exude sexual energy. I love sexual energy.
Yeah.
But like, do I feel like fucking all the time? No. And that to me is sad.
I can feel
it's so sad to me.
Yeah. I
need to fix this problem.
Well, I mean, you are on your way to figuring out this issue.
Yeah.
In my case, the libido and that's always been there. I don't know. It's kind of it's not necessarily the opposite of your situation, but my libido has always been really high. And I've said this before, like with the past relationship, it was so high that he wanted to kind of slow it down because he felt like it was just that. And to me, I had no undertaking of it. I didn't think different. I was like, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And we did. And, but nonetheless, it's been consistent that way. However, I too am a lesbian in that I want something a little more with substance before we cross that threshold.
Right. It's very much gay culture. Hookup culture exists prominently.
I think we can confidently say it's part of gay culture.
It is part of gay culture.
As a homosexual,
I'm not shitting on it. I admire that it's part. I admire.
I'll shit on it.
I love that.
I'll shit on it. Don't you worry.
I love that guys can be like, I want this and get that and carry on. Like, I'm like, good for you. Like, your mental compartmentalization is what it is that I kind of wish women had, but I also love how complicated we are.
It's interesting. There was I forgot what the context was, but it was something had premiered as a streaming show, and it was getting harped on because they were saying how it was just displaying once again men having casual sex. Yeah. And they were like, and somebody commented like, this needs to be seen. And I'm like, why? Like, it's not a hardship for men to have sex.
Right.
Or to casually have sex. Like, I don't see no one being negatively affected by this in terms of it needing a platform. I'm like, I think
Yeah.
Everyone across the board can see how easily accessible it is for men to have sex, casual sex. But it's something that has always, there's a sense of shame in that. And for my cross the road
Right.
in the LGBTQ, that I'm not putting out. So there is a sense of shame on my behalf that I still...
Because you don't subscribe to the hookup culture of the gays. Yeah.
I don't. And there is a sense of shame. I personally, I don't think I've ever been shamed by someone for it.
Sure.
But certainly you start to feel, and I'm sure you can
I relate in the opposite way.
Yeah. But you can relate in the sense that the shame feels like, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. What is it that I'm not doing, or I'm not doing correctly? Mm-hmm. And
it's just so you're not doing like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. In your case, it's a little more poignant because it is your work, and it is, so it becomes that much more evident that something's out of whack.
Right.
Right.
It's like, I'm not feeling prudish by any means.
Right.
I'm not feeling an entire lack in libido, but I am feeling like maybe it's not the level that it normally is. Mm-hmm. But also maybe for me, that's a good thing because maybe it's too high, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm focusing on other things instead of getting laid. Like,
yeah.
So that's cool, you know, but is this my normal? You know, is this healthy for me?
Yeah.
But I still bring the sexual energy to work. But yeah, where is it outside of work? I find it harder to make space for it.
And does it also negatively impact your personal life, I would think?
Yeah, right? Well, yeah, I mean, the not really wanting to date thing.
Do you think that's attached to your libido on some, or is it attached to that?
It maybe, you know, it's, I think it's like maybe 50-50. It's like, hey, I'm focusing on myself and being selfish and these other priorities that I have. Yeah. But 50%, I'm not like, I really want to have sex. I really want to have sex. You know, I'm like, I really want to have sex, but also I'm doing other things, you know, and it's just, I think that's probably a healthy thing. It's probably a normal person thing. Well, just not for me.
To add that normalcy, I feel the opposite. I always want to have the sex. And in a way that almost proves to me that I'm not dead inside.
Yeah.
Because I want to have all the sex. Granted, I'm not having any of the sex.
Right.
But the desire is still there. So I know that it's not something, I guess you can call it biological, that's off. It's more of, I don't know, what's the opposite of biological? But I mean, it's environmental.
Yeah.
In that I'm not subscribing to a certain culture. Because that's just my stance, and that's okay. You know, we all have our boundaries.
Right.
But finding a way around that it's really tricky. Because
it is.
What I'm right now searching for my options, kind of like you. Right now, you're at a place where you're working on yourself and you're trying to find.
And I know you mentioned wanting to now test your hormones and see where things
see,
lie.
Yeah, and not necessarily because of the libido thing. It was more because
just out of curiosity, age, everything.
Because now I'm at a age, we're both at the same age, and that health needs to be not calculated,
more of a priority,
rather analyzed.
Yeah.
To figure out, because back then, when you're young, when you're in your 20s, you don't think that any of this applies to you. And rightfully so to a degree, right? But then when you start reaching a threshold, you start to realize this is the age where you have to start checking up on these things, because that's when it kind of starts if it's not taken care of. And that's the scarier part, because not only is that I have no issues of getting older. It's more of the science in that your body's breaking down. Yeah. Essentially, that's what eventually happens as you get older.
Slowly,
Right? And it starts that process, or the aging process. To me, that is what the aging process is.
Right. It's like a breaking down. It's like a very slow breaking down, and it's up to us to want to continue to build it up as much as we can.
Right. Like support it.
Yeah.
Support it as long as you can, because, you know, much like a building, and this is probably a horrible analogy, but you have to maintenance. There is maintenance that's done, much like my building that's going through right now. There is a maintenance that has to be done and upkept in order to preserve it to the best of its ability.
Yeah.
And I would think the same thing with your body. Like there
Oh,
is, you have
absolutely.
to maintain it, whether that is through exercise or in some cases, some people go through surgery and get facelifts. You know, like
Yeah,
it's something,
whatever
whatever it
whatever's gonna
is.
make you
Yeah,
feel better inside and out
right.
is kind of the key, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. And I take a very heavy emphasis now as I get older to look out for my body. You know, the idea, which is so, I had this conversation with someone not too long ago of my idea of your mind body connection. I know this is a little
Hmm.
too spiritual to a degree.
No, no, because that's even they personal trainers talk about this. It's big in working out.
And the idea that I was telling them, I was like, don't you think it's kind of odd, like cool, but really odd that
Hmm.
you live in an organism that is your body? And they're like, what? And it just kind of went over their head. And I
Hmm.
was like, no, like think about it. You live in this living organism that is your body, that you have a certain degree of control over,
A
a
certain
certain degree,
degree,
emphasis being
correct.
a certain degree. And they're like, what do you like? I used to almost, they
You're
look
giving them
scared.
anxiety.
Yeah,
You're
they're like,
giving me
what do
anxiety
you?
right now. I'm already having massive
Oh,
anxiety
and
issues.
they're
You're
like,
like, let's
what?
dissect everything about your body right now.
But I
That's
find it
great.
fascinating because coming from someone who was and still have, you know, much like an addict, you're always going to be an addict.
Correct.
Being of a hypochondriac and going
Yeah.
through COVID really put me through the ringer, like really taught me to work it
Yeah.
out,
Hmm.
right?
That was a
So
big one.
as a former hypochondriac, I started to learn about my body because that it's so silly that knowledge is key, but it really is. Like it really helps to diffuse anxiety. It really diffuses fear because it breaks that fear of the unknown. And in my case, it was how the body worked.
Yeah.
And so, really understanding, and I'm by no means not an archaeologist, not a gynecologist. I don't know any of the things. I just kind of listen to my body.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me one day because I think I got like a paper cut or something. And I was fascinated by the idea that my body healed itself.
So
And
quickly.
so quickly, but generally that it healed itself. And I didn't have any say in it
Hmm.
whatsoever.
Hmm.
And I was like, that's fucking awesome. That's
These,
like the 5-year-old in me.
yeah, we have these machines and they're so intricate and
Right.
they need so much.
They
And
do.
here they are, like
And they're so
40 years later,
sensitive.
still going,
Yeah.
strong-ish,
So
still going. Here we are.
it's fascinating because it's it makes you it makes you look at the bigger picture. And so I was explaining this to this person, and they were freaking out because they're like, "What do you mean? This is just it's just a vessel." I'm like, kinda, but it's a
Very
really
intricate
intricate
vessel, yeah.
and very sensitive one. And so
Yeah.
over the years, I've learned to listen to my body in
Hmm.
that when it wants something, I kind of cater to it, obviously to a degree. So for example, when my body is tired and it's time to go to sleep, oh, it's time to go to sleep. Like even though
Yeah.
I mentally want to stay up to finish whatever it is that I want to do,
Your body's saying, I
like
need to
I need
recharge.
to
I've had enough.
recharge.
Yeah.
So I go, and I've learned that listening to that, I've been able to overcome certain things, not necessarily ailments. I think ailments are a very strong word in my case,
Hmm.
but certain obstacles that I would have dealt with in the past because I was too egotistical in the sense of like,
Yeah.
I want to do this, I want to stay up late, I don't want to listen to my body, or I want to consume this, eat this instead of that, and
Right.
know that, you know, there are times where and this is not a hot take, but to certain vegans probably, my body just craves meat,
Oh, same. My food
right?
shopping yesterday, I went a little heavy on red meat and it was like, I just feel like I'm craving it. And right now, more than ever, with whatever it is that I'm going through, I'm
Yeah.
like, let's listen to this magnificent machine and what it's telling you to do.
Yeah. So as I get older, I'm learning to listen to it, even when the first instance for me for this was when I've obviously been working out for a very long time, only because I say that because I've said it all the time. And there was the first instance where, like you were saying earlier, the mind body connection, which in bodybuilding is key. So what that means for those who don't really understand what all of that means is basically when you're lifting weight, you're not just lifting the weight for the act of lifting weight, you're trying to connect your mind to the muscle that you're trying to work out. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's a step beyond concentration.
Yeah.
And so it's an essential part of bodybuilding in a way. And so I started to apply that to like everyday life. And I just started to really listen and see what I'm putting into my body. That was a big,
I love this.
that was a big, not proposal, but it was a big emphasis as to why I don't drink as much.
Yeah.
I was never a smoker. I was more a social smoker. It was the only reason how I can get a break when working in nightclubs back in the day. I don't know how it is now, but that was my only break. So I picked up smoking, but I never really, I was too cheap to pay for a pack of cigarettes.
Sure.
But nonetheless, that emphasis on my body really forced me to kind of step out of my ego a little bit and realize this is the only body I have. There is not another one in reserve, at least not yet, not like in the movies.
Yeah.
And I need to take care of it because I don't have any other.
Right. And it feels like your body's always communicating with you if you're willing to pay attention
100%.
to it. And that's like, I wouldn't be on this, what's wrong with me hormonally journey if I wasn't paying attention to all the things.
That buzzword just really cut me in the chest.
What?
Sorry, you said journey.
Journey. I'd been this journey if it wasn't. I would be in this magical journey.
What kind of journey?
This journey of my hormones that are just not cooperating.
Sorry, my ADD just completely cut you off.
So no, it's okay. Yes. It's okay. I wouldn't have figured out all these things if I wasn't paying attention to why am I so tired? And it coincided with, it was already me thinking I was in perimenopause, but coming back from Japan, having a hellish trip back, getting a shitty layover situation in
jet lag you
Chicago.
were talking about.
But then it's like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I was like, this is not jet lag. There's something really wrong with me. I shouldn't need several naps in a day. Like this, what is happening?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be falling behind with scheduling and work. And like, this is not me. This is a whole different person. Paying attention to all the symptoms, going out to Pride, being by a beach, being at like 65 degrees and sweating like it was 105.
Yeah.
All these things, my body screaming at me. Like, see a doctor, something's wrong, and if you're not listening to your body, I had a trauma therapist a couple of years ago when I had gone through like a really hard time, and it caused me massive PTSD. And so I had to have a trauma therapist and a Zoloft prescription, which essentially got me out of this dark time.
Yeah.
But that therapist taught me how to pay attention to my body and how to listen to my body. She taught me how I felt around certain people and certain situations, and to pay attention to the things that my body would do that I was totally oblivious to. Cut to my now regular therapist / life coach. She continued that practice unknowingly, asking me like, pay attention to how you feel, like, especially when I was on the apps and I was dating when I moved back to New York. She was like, pay attention to how the way you feel after certain dates. And I remember going on a date with someone who was very confrontational from like day one. And here I am after the third encounter, feeling like, like I couldn't wait to get rid of that person.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense. I'm like, she's attractive, and there's so many cool things about her that I really like and I want to get to know, but like I'm so drained by this person. Yeah. And that was my body having a physical reaction. We talked about this again with someone else that I didn't even meet. We just communicated via text and FaceTime one time, and the way that I broke out in hives because of that. It's like your body will tell you sometimes before your brain can process it. To process it. Your 100%. Body has such visceral reactions to your environment, the people in your life, and the things going on inside. Mm-hmm. And it's, gosh, if you can't pay attention to that, like, you're fucked. You're fucked. You need to pay attention to your massive machine that you're living in.
There's moments where my body will tell me this is not beneficial. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it gets to a certain point where, God, you end up learning the hard way. Mm-hmm. And that's always a reminder for me to shape the fuck up. Yeah. Like when it gets to a place where I'm like, okay, how many times am I going to have to remind you that this is not benefiting us? Mm-hmm. Do you want it to get to that place? Because I can take it there, and I don't want to, because obviously it's not good for either one of us. And those kind of pop-ups happen, and I'm like, all right, well, let me shape the fuck up. Let me mature myself for a minute and do what I need to do. And then there's some instances where, God, it's so fucking stressful. Like my job, my server job, my survival job, because it feels like a fucking survival job, impedes a lot of fucking stress. And it's just an undertaking. It's too much. And granted, it's not many times a week, but it's certainly enough for it to stand out
have an impact.
Yes. To be like, why am I doing this again? And then obviously for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, listening to this living organism, and and as I get older, I'm happy that I'm at a place where I've fully communicated my needs, and it communicates its needs to me. And it's kind of odd because it's like, it's almost one of my favorite movies. Complete like segue, but really quick. One of my favorite movies is an anime called Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
And it deals with AI, the future, but basically what it is to be human.
Okay.
Right. And it's basically this cyborg that has a kind of part human brain, but has this cybernetic shell, which is the machine. And the idea is exploring what it is to be human. What is the difference between a machine, an AI essentially, and human? What makes human human? But that's a whole other conversation. But the simple idea is that there's so much that resonated with that analogy of just having this machine body and having a separate thought process from it. Reminded me so much of, what having a body is. That whole science aside, it's, again, as I get older, it's really fascinating to now really essential to have that connection with your body, because like going back to the libido, going back to sex drive. And is it a part of getting older, or is there something off where we need to fine tune our body because it's lacking a maintenance that, whether through our control or environmental, we just don't have, or
And I am thinking it's a maintenance thing. I am thinking it's not an age. I know women that get to their 40s and they're hornier than they've ever been before.
I've heard
in
that
my
too.
30s, I was hornier than I ever was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I feel like I, of all people, should have that vibe in my 40s. I feel like there's a maintenance issue that I'm currently attempting to address.
And interesting to tie that in. Do you think there's a form of mental health that ties into that?
Oh, totally. I mean, look at I was talking about the symptoms of perimenopause compared to thyroid issues. Anxiety is a big one. A lack of focus is a big one for both of those things. That's, mental health related. I happen to already have general anxiety.
Yeah.
I happen to already have, ADHD. And in the past several months, I feel like those things have gotten so much worse. And it's like, there's clearly a maintenance issue, you know?
Yeah.
But let's say it's not a hormonal thing, then you have to go to the therapist and the psychiatrist and figure out what it is from there and get on the medication that you need and figure it out. That's another stigma, taking medication.
Oh, girl, we've had this conversation.
And it's like, if your arm is broken off and bleeding, do you not go to the hospital? Take the goddamn medication. Fix your brain. If it's between if it's between life and death, take the stupid pill.
Yeah.
Let go of the stigma. Save your life. Save yourself.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I mean, we've had this conversation. Remember when I had to get had a deviated septum and got that fixed, and they gave me painkillers, and I was like, no, I'll ride this out. And you were like, bitch, why? Like you take headache medicine.
Especially because like you don't have that kind of addictive personality. Do you know what I mean? To be like
carbs, yes.
Right. If they prescribed you a bag of Chips Ahoy, I'd be like, oh, this is risky business, you guys. I don't think you realize what you're doing here. This is an emergency. You might need a rehab, But if it's like I would not worry about you and 600 milligrams of ibuprofen. Yeah. That's not going to concern me for you.
Yeah. But it does scare me to a degree, because I'm just like, well, obviously I believe in science, in that I believe that their medication is there to aid the body. But then what if? It's always what if, and that scared me. But you obviously brought it to a point where, well, you take headache medicine, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so this is the same thing, just it's in a different case. You're using it for something else. It's the same concept.
Pain. Don't feel the pain. It's, the women who have a...
And there's enough pain going around already.
Do you know what I'm saying? The women that go through birth and they're just like, I don't need an epidural. It's like, you're not going to get a trophy, and either you're going to suffer through the pain of it or not. So, and I don't have kids, okay? So I don't know the details. But from what my friends have told me, it's just like, do whatever you can do to not be so in pain. And I take that and apply it just to your whole life. Do whatever you can do.
Yeah.
To not be so in pain.
But
whatever modern medicine, woo-woo things, all of it.
Woo.
All of it. Do all the Reiki, all the yoga, take the medicine, do the things to not be in constant pain as best as you can.
I honestly think it's an ego thing. And then before anyone has an emotional reaction, hear me out what I mean by ego. It's not the ego that we've all come to understand. I'm talking about ego in that it's almost like a very pride issue, in that you have this understanding that, well, my body should be able to do this naturally.
Sure.
And that's understandable. But like you said, but why does it have to be painful? It doesn't have to be. There's so many things that are painful in this world. Wait till that baby is 18. You'll know pain. Trust me. So take the epidural. But also your body, your choice. Yeah,
your body, your choice. But your body, your choice. But like, do the things that make your body not hate you. I don't know, whatever that is in life. I use this analogy with a lot of my friends who are like anti-therapy or anti-medication or I'm like, we're all in traffic. We're all going to the same destination. Here we are stuck in traffic. You are honking your horn. You are unhappy. You are miserable. You are uncomfortable in your car. I'm blasting my music. I'm having a fucking concert. I am living. We're going to have very different rides to get to our destination. Which one are you going to choose? You want to suffer your whole way there? That's on you, boo. It's your car. Okay?
Your car, your choice.
I'm going to have a great fucking ride. I'm going to get out of traffic and be like, ugh, need a latte, Yeah. But I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
When I get there, I'm going to be so happy to get out of the car and be fine. You're going to be livid and mad that you even took the trip.
That is actually, that's actually a really good analogy.
I always say that to people. I'm like, we're on the same ride. We're in traffic. Figure it out. What's going to be a better ride for you?
I mean, it really does come to that. But I think there's that ego thing. There's this shame, right? Kind of like we were talking about with the libido. There's also the shame in mental health. Yeah. There's a shame in just health in general.
Sure.
Right? There's so much shame. Where is this shame coming from?
So much shame.
It should be shameless.
I have the ego situation you're talking about. I want to be the strongest. I am like the strong friend in a lot of my friend groups. I'm the one a lot of people lean on. I like being that person. Oh no, now I'm falling apart. Now I might need right. There is a kink in the armor. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going to need some kind of medication for something. And oh no, does that make me weak? It's like, no, it makes me survivalist. It's human nature to want to survive. And that's what I'm going to do and accept that in whatever form I need to. Yeah.
It's crazy getting older for that simple reason of just
acceptance.
Acceptance is key. Accepting my body for what it is.
Radical acceptance. Like we have radical consent. We have radical acceptance. Yeah. The sooner we move our brain into acceptance, the easier things just go. Yeah. Like if the day is just not going as planned, you had this recently. You had you woke up late, your schedule was fucked up, you forgot you had to go be somewhere at that time, then you had friends dropping in, and nothing went to plan that day. It was the day we were recording. Yeah. Nothing was going to plan, but you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, that's what's happening. Okay. If you can just move into acceptance, you're good.
It's so much easier, right? Like I had that same issue, which was not that long ago, where I got my dates confused. But also, I remember when my apartment, I mean, you were a huge part in this, when my apartment was getting renovated. And very long story short, I didn't want it to be done simply because I was just happy with the way things were. And
it was the holidays.
It was literally the day before Christmas. Yes, the day before Christmas, before they decided we're going to do all of this work. And
Yeah, they're like, we're going to tear through your apartment for Christmas. Happy holidays.
yeah. And they expected me to stay in my apartment while this was all happening. And mind you, for those who don't have any idea of this, they were going to redo my floors, paint the apartment. Like they were remodeling the apartment with me in it.
The building's decision. This was not José's choice.
No, I would have not. I shan't. But I know I was completely unprepared. Where was I going to move my furniture? I had nowhere to move it. Where was I going to stay? I don't think that you would stay in the space that they're remodeling in real time.
There's nowhere to sleep. There's nowhere to go.
Where am I going to sleep? So my world was crashing around me, and I still had to go to work, and it was the holidays. I had all of these things planned in terms of getting all of my family together for the holidays, and I didn't know what to do. You came in, you stepped in, you happily let me live with you. Well, I think you were traveling, right? Because I was by myself.
Yeah, I was in Texas, and I was like, go to my apartment.
Yeah. And so I did, and I stayed there for a week.
And I was like, go to my apartment.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't. I don't know.
You were refusing acceptance.
I was so because I was so
you
mad.
Moved into acceptance.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
Yeah. And then so it happened again recently for my apartment. They had to replace the windows. And it's not the replacement of the windows that's bothering me. It's the time frame in which all of this is happening. This is happening in less than 24 hours notice. And they're like, yeah, we're going to do this. And it's a 2-day job. And something washed over me. Obviously PTSD.
Yeah.
Of just like, we're doing 100%. This again. But there was this acceptance of like, all right.
Okay.
We've been through this. We just roll with it.
Yeah.
We're not going to.
There's no other option.
There's no other option. Just go with it. Did I hate every second of it? 1,000%.
Sure.
1,000%. And then I ended up having to stay at a hotel at some point because I realized, even though they were removing the windows,
your whole apartment was bubble wrapped.
Exactly.
The short story of that. The whole apartment was bubble wrapped. You can't get to or touch anything for 2 days. It's like, just stay in a hotel.
Just stay in it. And I was just like, you know what? Sure. And I did. It wasn't even
acceptance.
The acceptance was that much more with ease this time around. The first time I kind of fought you on it. This time I was like, okay, well, let me go find a hotel.
Right.
And I did exactly that. But the reason why I said all of that was the acceptance of certain things, of just kind of not necessarily giving in, just accepting this is your reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And going back to the life health thing, it's kind of going to that acceptance of like, well, I gotta get this checked out, or damn it, I have to be on multivitamins every single day. Like I need supplements.
Maybe I need to be on medication. Maybe I don't. Whatever it is, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm going to.
And no one talks about that.
This.
I mean, no one talked to me about this as I was getting older.
No, this is something I had to learn on my own,
and I'm still learning it on my own.
Because some of my anxiety is triggered by health issues. So I had a doctor tell me that, I do have a very mild heart condition. I don't need to take medication for it. It's just an awareness that it's there.
Yeah.
And I remember finding that out from the doctor's office and having to go to a cardiologist and all that, and having to pull over on the side of the road afterwards because I was hyperventilating. Just knowing that something was wrong with my heart. My brain could not move into acceptance. Yeah. It caused this massive panic attack.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it anymore. So now whatever's going on with my hormones, I'm not willing to drive myself crazy about it again. Yeah. It just makes it all worse. I just have to accept it and do whatever it takes to figure it out and be balanced again. That's it. So that's the only option I'm giving myself.
Yeah. Was it the first indication was your libido when you were like, something's off?
No, it was the fatigue. The fatigue is intense. The libido is barely noticeable. If that's a symptom I'm having, I don't really notice it that much.
Yeah.
But it's the fatigue is extreme. The hot flashes that, is more of like it is a perimenopause thing. But
this is my stupid man brain. Describe to me a hot flash. Because
all of a sudden it feels like the room goes from 65 to 95 and I'm
your
sweating.
Whole body that's going through
Remember we filmed, I think it was the last episode, the apartment
when you
was
were like, it's
warm,
too goddamn hot in here.
Warm, but I was sweating on camera.
Yes, I remember.
I was in hot flash mode.
Maybe Crystal's in a constant state of hot flash.
In a constant state. Hey, tell her to check her thyroids. Tell her to check all the things because it could be literally anything. It's that. There's the anxiety, the focus, the everything.
I'm not supposed to laugh at that.
God, if we're not laughing, we're gonna cry about it. So
This is true.
fuck me, just laugh at it. Laugh at me, please.
Well, we find humor. We talked about some of the last episode,
Our
or
dark
the
humor.
other two of our dark humor. I mean, that's how that's how we process all of this life. If
My
I
therapist
could
says
not
it too.
laugh at it,
laugh
die.
about it. Yeah, you have to.
But
the libido thing, I mean, let's talk about it, how it relates to intimacy. If I am having a libido issue that I'm not really noticing because, like you said, I am normally a high libido person. So let's say I am an average libido person. It's almost like false advertising. Like if I am dating, they're going to think I have this very average libido. Or it's like, no, I actually have a very high libido. I don't know where it is at the moment. It's taking a hiatus. I would like to bring it back.
I lost it in my overhead compartment as I traveled here.
Right. It shifted. But I would love to bring it back.
Oh.
I did. And, and also, is it situational? Like I'm talking about the guy, the male ex who sent me the video. And I was like, okay, like, cool, yay, it was good, but I can't say it really did anything magical to me. I also recently had a woman that I'm not dating that sent me a very fun video as well, and I was like, let's see if this does something. It did, but normally I would be like, I have to go masturbate immediately because I just watched this and now I'm going to use it, and
as one does.
And I did not have the same urgency to use it. And I'm like, well, it's because I was busy working, traveling. That could also be it.
Yeah.
Didn't have enough alone time. That could also be it, But yeah, I didn't feel the same. I thought it was a great video. I enjoyed it immensely, but I didn't have the same sense of urgency. And so I was like, shit, is that libido related or not? I do see how if I was in a relationship, they would probably be able to point out. Something's up. The intimacy levels have shifted and something is up. So it's one of those things that it's harder to notice if you're single and not really dating.
That's a very good, interesting point. Interesting. Oh, I just had a brain fart. I'm so sorry.
I have questions that I need answers to, which I'm not going to get until these damn results.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting episode when I get results.
We have to follow up on this.
I know.
You have to follow up on this.
I know. Where will my libido go? Who knows?
Find out soon. Tune in.
On all things intimacy and libido related and mental health. We'll keep you abreast.
Yeah. But know that whatever changes in your bodies are happening, just know that there's a rhyme and reason for it. And sometimes you have to listen to it and get it checked out.
Listen to it, whatever it is, accept it.
And know that you're not, I know it's so silly, but you're not essentially alone in that. We're all going through this.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning.
You are not alone. I am here with you. Nobody
My
wants to hear me
knees are
sing.
fucking hurt. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, man. We will keep you all posted. You know that.
No, that's for sure.
How do we end this?
Goodbye. Thank you for watching. We put out new visual episodes every Friday right here on YouTube. And if you want to listen a week earlier, tune in every Tuesday on Spotify under 2 Most Wanted. And remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Or just watch one of our older videos. I suggest the one about kink, because why not? It's Friday. It's your weekend. Do you? Yes, do it. Do it now.